Hey, it's Christmas in J Bro's garage. I know I mentioned you guys before, this is my mom's golf cart. She got splashy and we're gonna drop a lift kit and some new tires and rims on this thing. So I'll unpackage these, show you what we're dealing with and what we got going on. So these are the tires and rims my mom selected. Are those not awesome? And then they got the little cap that goes over the thing right there, the SS. Well, I'll slide it from this side a little easier. So that's what we're looking at there. So if my dog can get out of the way. Yeah, so that's gonna be sweeter than sweet down there. And I think she paid like $600 for those tires and rims. And actually, tires and rims aren't actually too bad a price. You can find a pretty decent set for somewhere around that $250 to $400. She just really liked these with the off-roadness, because out to her campground that she's at, they got a lot of gravel roads and stuff like that. See, on my golf cart, mine's used for golfing, so I have turf tires on there. But anyway, that's what those look like, and I'm just going to unpackage this lift kit quick, and then I'll just take you along for the ride. I've installed 3 of these kits. They're not very difficult if you don't jack it up super high. You start getting to 6-inch lift kits, then you got to start doing a whole lot of different maneuvering. When you're kind of that 3-inch to 4-inch, they're really not that complicated. It's just more space, or just like more of a frame spacer. And like the front is just a simple, okay, your shaft or your drive shaft comes out like this. Well, instead of coming out straight like this, they just manufacture it so it drops like this, and that's how it mounts on there. But yeah, so I think this is just going to be super sweet. And it's always kind of fun to open up packages, especially when you haven't paid for them and your mom pays for them. But for all the stuff she helps out with around here, I figured, why not be a good son and put these in for her? See, I'll just show you this here quick, what I'm talking about. This is really all that it takes for the front end. And I'll get this in more detail later. Yeah, this is the front here. So on the original, let's say, this shaft is just going to come out like this, and that's where it gets mounted. Here, they just drop that little U in there to get it down there. Boom. Pretty simple, actually. The rear takes a little bit more effort, albeit the part is insanely easy. Basically, that rear just gets this little spacer popped in there to gain your 3 inches of space. So you got to do a little bit extra crawling and stuff like that, but really, no big deal. So I'll get set up, prepped up. I'm going to do the rear first, just because that's the way I want to do it. I kind of wanted to get you up close here. So what needs to happen, there's many ways to do this way easier, but what I have to do on this, because I don't want to take all this stuff off, up there, you'll see where the shock, see if I can get you in there. Not really. See where that shock's mounted up there? I got to take that bolt off. Same with on the other side. And then, once that's off, this will drop here, because those shocks will be disconnected up here. This bolt can stay, but this will drop. Then what happens is that bracket that we'll call the goal post, as many others would say, this then slides up inside to then get your 3-inch lift. So to do this way easier, this rear end would be off, or at least this portion here, but I'm not going to go through all that because I don't want to remove this and I don't want to remove that and put it all back together. It will take more time to do it this way, but that's the way I'm going to do it. So I'm going to get the proper tools set up here and kind of show you how I'm going to do it. Yeah, go from there. Yeah, I thought I was going to try to do a little bit more of a detailed video here. Then I realized there's just other people online that got it better. So I'll just show you where I'm at. I got this rear sway bar in there. That's mounted to the frame and then to the old sway bar mount. There's the cross bracing going all the way across there where the 3-inch lift kit's at. For me, I had to take the wheel well covers out. That was held by 3 pop rivets. So I'll just have to pop rivet that back on. And the other thing that I had to do that was not really a pain, but being this seat, or this seat was on here, I had to take this bolt out that was mounted underneath and then get my sway bar underneath that mount. Not that big of a deal, just time consuming is what it is. I would say, you know, pretty simple kit from Golf Cart. I think it was, yeah, golfcartsupply.com, something like that. But anyway, they were good on the tires and rims and stuff like that, and the kit. But everything went pretty smooth. I'm to the point now I'm gonna pop rivet this back on, and we'll slam the tires on the rear. That'll be done, and then the front shouldn't be a problem at all. So yeah, I'll get these pop riveted back on and see where we go. Sweet, I'm finally to the point where I'm going to put the tires on. I'm just wrapping my lugs in painter's tape, so just don't mark them up. And then I probably got to jack that up a little bit more in the back. My supervisors are still here, so let's see if we can't get this thing looking decorational here. Yeah, it took me probably, I would say, on that front end, or excuse me, the rear end lift, shoot, probably like 3 hours. Just, you know, it wasn't difficult, just random weird stuff just got in my way. And once I realized I just had to take out the wheel wells, but a couple of those pop rivets were just kind of a pain in the butt. And yeah, let's see what these girls look like. This in first. I don't know, try to force it in later. And of course I turned my light off. Probably get that set up here in a second after I get this. Okay. Yep, definitely gonna clear that bumper now. And like I said, that was the reason I had to get the lift kit. And it was 50-50 if a guy was gonna do a 6-inch lift. You know, I would have probably did a 4, but they didn't have 4-inch for this style. And I just thought, wow, 6 inches, that starts getting pretty aggressive. And it's not like, you know, this cart is paint jobbed out or anything like that. But that being said, I haven't seen it with the lift on, so I'm gonna step back with you guys and see how sweet this thing's looking. I know my mom and my brother, they are going to be pumped. I know that because, like I said, if you saw the old tires and rims, look pretty trashy. Oh, my socket right here, I think. Okay, I'm going to step back where you guys are at so I can see what we're looking at. Woohoo! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Yeah, it's just crazy what a set of freaking tires does to your operation. God dang it. Not bad for a blind white boy on a Thursday. There we go. Yeah, darn it. I am just pumped. Like I said, I wish I could put the aggressive off-roads on my cart, but mine is actually used for what it's made for, is golfing. But of course I don't even frickin' golf anymore. But I intend to get the J-Bros out golfing a little bit more this year. It's kind of snugged up, and usually what I like to do is kind of get them partially snugged all the way around. And like I said, the painter's tape is just strictly there to so you don't scratch up your lug nuts. Maybe it's overkill, maybe it's not, who knows. I know one thing, if I scratch them up, my brother would sure say, hey, what the heck? He's particular like that, which is a good thing, you know. Okay, one more little snugger. Okay, there we go. Bring you over to the other side. Got a couple other nuts already prepared. They're sitting up here. Hit those lugs. Yeah, this is the fun part here. All that other junk is junk, but you get your gratification in here. Back you up here. There we go. Oh shoot. Kind of need a tire. Put these here. Yeah, I know they're going to be excited. Go. Pull this away. Slide that in there. All right. Yeah, like I said, I was gonna do a little bit more detailed stuff, but you know, I just didn't feel like I did or I showed as good a job as what the other guys that were more detailed into it. I mean, I kind of gave you a ballpark idea what was shaking, but anyway, if you have any questions, just comment down below and I can give you any insight that I had to do or anything like that. Like I said, the tire place, that golf cart supply place that I got these from, god dang, they were just great to deal with. When I had called in on the lift kit because I had screwed up, and I'm like, oh shoot. Called into the guy and he's like, yeah, thanks for hollering at me. And like I said, the lift kit ended up getting here Thursday versus tomorrow, and my mom's going out to the lake tomorrow to open it up so she can ride in style there. So I know she's super excited about it. My brother's going to be down at his lake as well next weekend. So like I said, there's just something about tires and rims. Oh darn it. It's kind of like my old cart, you know, for 1989, you put a paint job, tires and rims. Why the heck does a guy need to go buy a $15,000 golf cart? All right, let's see what that looks like. God, yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome. I'm gonna get you over here, and then I'm gonna pull out those ramps and get this dropped. Kind of created a big mess for myself, but I'll get this stuff out of the way. I have to admit, I'm kind of fading. Just got that extra adrenaline going just to see what this looks like down. And I should have enough clearance under the axle. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, that is money. Money, money, money. Love it, love it. Not that the other side's any different, but yep, Mom was right going just the jet black. I've got chrome on mine. Yeah, well, I'll get popping on that front, and that's easier than the rear. So I'll pop in here once I get these tires off, and yeah, just kind of keep you in the loop for the next phase. But I think she nailed it with the black on black. Just a quick update here. So that's the front arm there. This is what the old one looked like, and you can just see the height difference that drops it. So basically what we need to do is we need to take this cap off so we can get this part, and we'll mount that onto here. The only thing that you needed from this for this part is there's these rubber bushings. Those were on the old here and here. You take those off, put them there, and then you just reuse all the nuts and bolts, and then they've got cotter pins right there that go on the bottom once you get everything tightened up. So what I just need to do now is remove this plastic, remove this, and slide it on to there, and we'll be rolling here pretty quick. Yeah, being we're already in here, and I got this taken off. All that is as simple as nut right on here. You just pop that that rubber cap that goes on here. And being I'm already in here, got this pulled apart. This is what this looks like. There's a washer on this end, and I don't know if you can quite see that seal in there. And then there's seal on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and grease these up. This looked pretty dry in here, so I've got this little grease thing that I got with my mini skid. So I'm gonna jazz that up and put it back on and go from there. So yeah, just some preventative maintenance for the future. So I figured I'd just point that out, and like I said, you're pretty much just reusing the parts once again here. So yep, I'll get this on. Also, just an FYI, so you don't forget like I did, I just had to take this guy back out. Don't forget to slide this cylinder back in here because the new one doesn't come with it. And then just make sure you grease this up and whatnot as well. So don't forget that, along with the rubber boots. Well, at the home stretch, I'm gonna hurry up and get these rims on. All right, that's a wrap on this operation. Probably will have to balance these tires out a little bit up front, but that's for a different time. But that's what we're looking at. I'd say that is a total win. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. J Bros out.